Welcome to Garage Gym Athlete Cool Downs. These episodes are short, actionable podcasts pulled from previous interviews and content we've been publishing for the last several years. So go for a walk, hop on the rower, or clip into the bike for this cool down episode. Yeah, and one thing I know about anyone who works with people in anything related to nutrition, you're going to run into not just the mechanics of what to eat, what not to eat, but there's going to be somewhere where you run into someone's relationship with food, and that being an issue. Could you talk a little bit more about that?
That is so true because, I'm sure you meet people all the time that feel like they know what they should be eating, but then sticking to it is another problem. And no matter what your goal is, whether your goal is to improve your gut health or any other kind of health issue, or just to feel better overall, we all have our different barriers. And sometimes the more diets we've been on, and even sometimes we don't really call them diet, but we can call them lifestyle, but any kind of ways, approaches, protocols that we try that restrict some food, that may make some food quote unquote bad or unhealthy or not as good, it can really start affecting our relationship with food. And I see so many people that are just trying so hard to eat the quote unquote right food, but sabotaging themselves over and over again, whether it is because of overeating, because they just don't realize that they're not eating enough while they're on the elimination diet. And then their body is just really smart because the body wants to survive and pushes them to overeat to make sure that they don't die. So that can be one way we sabotage, or there might be something emotional that comes up, some kind of stress, and then there might be some emotional eating that happens that can make people feel pretty horrible because it can exacerbate some of their digestive symptoms and then make them feel like a failure and like they're never going to get that right. And there's all of that inner self-talk that can be very negative and put people down a spiral that can be really hard to get out of. And there's a lot of sabotage that can happen too for so many different reasons. I think that this is one of the most interesting aspects of the work that I do with clients, is to really learn more about this relationship that people have with food. And it may sound strange to say relationship with food when food is not a person, but really relationship in that way is more about the way we approach food and what it means to us, how we use food. And because we say food should only be fuel. Yes, it is mostly fuel. It gives us the energy and nutrients we need, but it's also so much more than that. It's a lot about connection and love for many of us as we grow up. It's an integral part of our family gathering, and it's also it's something that we use for many different social events. So, and it's also a way that many of us learn to comfort ourselves whenever something either sad or happy happens. So it's associated with so many different things. And it's not bad that food is not only fuel, because I think that's what makes us human. We have those more extra layers of complexity around food, but it's an added challenge for many of us, and it was for me too, having struggled with a disordered eating and even an eating disorder, and learning to find the nourishment that most of us are craving and are not getting from food only, and that we were never taught how to get that nourishment from other sources, like really rest and play and having fun and true heart-to-heart connection and laughing and all of these other nutrients that nourish us beyond what food can do for us too.
And so I do want to ask, as a dietitian and nutritionist, you've worked with a lot of people, and you're really good at helping people get results, and also, like we just talked about, helping people maybe change their view or their relationship with food. But that last part, helping someone change their relationship with food, dives much deeper into almost, psychology. How did you get good at that part of what it takes to help someone get through, to health?
Well, there's a combination of what is the quote again? Like experience. I don't remember, but anyway, it was a lot about my own personal experience first, because I struggled with an eating disorder for 2 decades, pretty much, almost 2 decades. So I know what's happening, like the different patterns between our thoughts, our emotions, and our behaviors, because that's all so interconnected. The way we think affects the way we feel, and that affects the way we behave, the actions and the decisions that we take, and then that affects our reality, and vice versa. So I have a personal insight on that, and having been able to heal myself from that, I'm able to use the same tools with other people as well. I've also read, like I'm a lifelong student. I love reading and learning from so many other experts out there through podcasts and books. And also I took a certification through the Path of Self-Love School. So I'm also a self-love guide. And this was, I've studied for 2.5 years with the Path of Self-Love School, practicing a lot of different tools, because really when it comes to our relationship with food and healing at a deeper level, because yes, gut health is important, and we can heal a lot of it on the first layer of it being the body, the physical level. But if we want true holistic healing, we also need to address the mind, which is our thoughts and the way we think. We need to address the heart and our emotions and how we feel, and even the soul and the spiritual aspect of our being, if we want to go there too. So I really feel like true holistic healing should be an integration of all of these layers: body, mind, heart, and soul. So yes, and I've been and also working with so many clients and seeing how there are so many ways that we can relate to food, and I think that's what allowed me to put that into practice and to connect the dots, and really I learned so much from my clients on a daily basis, and that's what I think that's what helps also, is that I never feel like I have all of the answer for anyone. I'm never there to say, oh, here's what you need to do. I know everything about you, and that's going to work, and go and just do it. Like, I'm really here to sit with my clients and really be curious and not judge them, and allowing them to finally be more aware and honest with themselves and with me than they've ever been in their own life. That's where true healing really starts, when we work together.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think, part of the reason I asked that question as a coach myself, on the fitness side of things, you run into the same kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, well, here are your workouts, go get fitter. There's always a different layer that has to be peeled back. And yeah, a lot of it is just being with your client and, learning from them and helping them the best way possible. Thanks for listening to today's Cool Down. If for some ridiculous reason you are not subscribed to Garage Gym Athlete programming, fix that problem right now. Go to garagegymathlete.com, sign up for a free trial, get started with us today. Thanks for listening.